Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome back to The Explainer. So, we hear the phrase going viral all the time, right? People throw it around constantly. But today, we're doing a complete forensic breakdown of a massive digital phenomenon right as it's happening. We're going to look closely at the data, dig into the digital footprint, and really decode exactly how a piece of content just completely takes over an entire region's algorithm.
To truly wrap our heads around the sheer scale of what we're looking at today, we have to start with the timeline. And that timeline is a window of merely 5 days. Just let that sink in for a second, okay? We are not analyzing some massive marketing campaign built up over months or a slow, organic burn that kind of accumulated over a year. No, we are looking at a hyper-condensed explosion of attention, and it literally all happened in less than a week. And in those 5 short days, the numbers absolutely erupted. 44,200,000 views. I really want to let the sheer magnitude of achieving that number in such an incredibly short window just hang in the air for a moment. Wow. When you compress that much traffic into such a tight time frame, you're not just getting views anymore, you're effectively hijacking the cultural conversation. Honestly, if you create content, if you market products, or if you just study internet trends, this right here, this is the holy grail.
Which brings us to the ultimate question we really need to answer today. What exactly is dominating screens in Taiwan to command this level of intense, hyper-focused attention? I mean, what kind of content actually has the gravity to pull in over 44 million views in 5 days? It's not a breaking news event, and it's definitely not some random viral stunt. It is a highly calculated, perfectly executed music video release.
Section 1, a 5-day phenomenon.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what's happening under the hood. Look, 44.2 million passive views is one thing, right? We've all seen autoplay inflate numbers. But look at the interaction stack here. Over 1 million likes and more than 72,000 comments. This ratio shows active, highly engaged participation. The audience isn't just passively watching, they are actively reacting, they're commenting, and they are essentially screaming at the algorithm that this content is an absolute priority.
When you map those explosive numbers directly onto the official chart data, well, the picture is crystal clear. This holds the undisputed #1 rank in Taiwan for a normal video trend. And that distinction is absolutely crucial. Because this isn't some quirky 15-second short-form video that people are just mindlessly swiping past on their phones. No, this is a traditional, full-length video entirely dominating the top spot after being live for just 5 days.
Let's move to part 2, the anatomy of BABYMONSTER, and see how this builds.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the group completely dominates bilingual search queries. Think about it. On one side, you've got the English terms, BABYMONSTER, BABYMON, and BAYMON. And on the other side, you have the direct Korean translations. By embedding every single one of these variations into the video's metadata, they are basically casting this massive, inescapable net for the algorithms. So whether a fan in Taiwan searches in English or Korean, the result just funnels them right back to the exact same video. It's brilliant.
But, it doesn't stop at just the group name. Let's methodically look at the individual members listed right there in the back-end data. Haram, Ahyeon, Ruka, Chiquita, Pharita, Rora, and Asa. These aren't just names on a screen. It's honestly like having 7 distinct, incredibly powerful SEO engines working around the clock just to catch specific queries. It takes 7 individual funnels of global and regional traffic, and it directs every single drop of it to one single YouTube video.
Section 3, the attitude driving the trend. Let's transition over to the actual text of the song. Take the lyric, "Walk in, stomping like we own the place." I mean, you can practically hear the punchy, confident attitude just radiating off the screen, right? We should really treat this lyric as the literal thesis for their aggressive YouTube algorithm takeover. Because they definitely didn't quietly release a video and just cross their fingers hoping it found an audience. Nope, they metaphorically stomped right into the charts and immediately took full ownership of the #1 spot.
And then we have this incredible line, "Trust me, I'm not just a pretty face." This perfectly mirrors their digital reality. Because look, in the digital age, a slick visual is nice, but it isn't enough to sustain 44.2 million views on its own. They aren't just an image. They actually have the heavy-hitting statistical power, remember that 1 million likes we just analyzed, to totally back up the boast. The text of the song validates the reality of their digital performance.
And get this, the video literally kicks off with a countdown. 1, 2, heat is on. 3, 4, BABYMON. We're gonna get this party started. It's explosive. And it perfectly maps onto their real-world chart run. The narrative of the song, initiating this massive immediate event, is exactly what they did to the viewer metrics. So the song's internal story perfectly matches its external real-world performance. It's like they wrote the script for their own viral success.
Section 4, dominating the Taiwan charts.
So the crucial point is that this undisputed top spot for the CHOOM music video, it is absolutely not an accident. It is the direct result of perfectly engineered elements aligning all at once. When you combine bulletproof SEO metadata, an incredibly aggressive and confident lyrical identity, and a hyper-engaged fanbase that is ready to comment and like in droves, well, you create an absolute juggernaut that completely takes over the normal video trend chart.
When you step back and look at the whole picture, the anatomy of this hit is just nothing short of fascinating. Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question to ponder before we wrap up. With an astonishing 44.2 million views in just 5 days, a flawless metadata strategy, and overwhelming engagement, can any other group currently challenge this level of pure momentum? Seriously, think about that as you keep an eye on the charts this week. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring the data behind the trends.